Hey, good morning. Here we are again. So happy to be here with you. It's kind of like winter out right now again, even though it's the middle of May. But anyways, yesterday I talked about the power of choice and choosing our thoughts and choosing to not go into the story that our mind creates about things happening in our reality and instead redirect our attention back on our breath, on our body, and get out of the mind. We can easily get off track from where we want to go, especially in this time period that we're in. There's lots of distractions. There's unlimited vice. It's easy to slip into this middle no man's land where you're just comfortable. This is about leveling up in life. Now, if you're comfortable where you're at and you don't have any desires outside of where you're at, that's fine. Just stay there. But for those of us who wish to squeeze the juice out of life in a good way, like really experience all that life has to offer, it's going to take an evolution of yourself. It's going to take an evolution of myself to get to next levels of expansion. Because that's really what we're doing here. We're evolving and expanding. And every time our nervous system gets tight and there's resistance, it's an opportunity to release and relax, breathe it in, breathe it out, and then that expands you just a little bit more. Every time you do something that's outside of your comfort zone that becomes comfortable, you just expanded. That's a level up. That's what I'm talking about. Whether it's in your social life, romantic life, in your job, the internal system going on here, your insecurities, you're working through those, or maybe it's fear that you need to work through. It's pushing the limits of your normal routine, pushing the limits of what is normal for you. Because you can definitely say, I don't do that, or I don't do this, or I always do it this way, or I always do it that way. But I want you to get real conscious and awake about that. And when you feel yourself or you see yourself doing that, just pause and say, okay, well, that is how I've always done it. Maybe I can do it differently. Maybe I can push it a little bit further. Maybe I can color outside the lines a little bit. Get uncomfortable on the regular. Most people are just coping with life or they're living in survival mode. So coping would be they do have everything controlled in their outside world. They go here, they do this, they buy this, they hang out with these people, they do this job. If anything outside of that realm or outside of that pattern happens, they're thrown off big time. Like that's coping with life, and they need to immediately correct it and go back to what they were doing, or they can suffer complete and utter destruction of their life. Well, that's what they think anyways. Really, the truth is that it would be fantastic if it fell apart. I never thought that before, but my life fell apart in 2020, as did many people's. And we thought it was like really bad at first, but then, it became a spiritual awakening. And now I live the life I always wanted to live. We don't really know what's good for us. And for the first couple of years after that, I would say, I really don't know shit. I don't know anything. My best thinking brought me to the worst point in my life. So I surrender and I'm open to all the possibilities, and all the knowledge that I thought I knew is out the door. This controlling everything on your outside, it's trying to arrange the world to suit your needs. That is a recipe for misery and disaster. It's a low-level misery of managing life instead of living life. So just be free and do what you want. And that requires letting go. So you and me, we're being drained of our energy here and there, and we're being distracted from our own attention. It's being siphoned off. We've been given every single piece of vice that is known to man to pacify us. And say it with me, no more. I want to feel. I want to feel all of life. If I can't feel success and abundance, then I want to feel the misery and depravity of lack. You know, I don't want to be in the middle. That's where we are with all the places to escape, like food and vaping, cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, entertainment, streaming, music. It's feeding this loop in our head that we're okay, that everything's fine, don't do anything, just continue to go to work, continue to buy our products, go home and go to sleep, and wake up and do it tomorrow, please. That's what that's where we're being led to do. Okay? That place, I was in that place for a long time. Buying the next smartwatch, consuming alcohol, drugs, pornography, you know, on this hamster wheel at work, like trying to get to the next level, trying to get more money, trying to get a promotion. And all the while, I was just abandoning myself the entire time. I was abandoning myself and I was abandoning my family as well. Like it took my focus so far off of what is important that when all of that disappeared, everything that I loved was gone. And I never want to be in that place again. And number one, I had no love for myself. I actually hated myself after all of that. And I think that's what it does when we try to when we fit into the societal mode of do this, do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. Of course you're gonna do this. Of course you're gonna buy a dozen roses on Valentine's Day and chocolates. It's like, what? Of course you're gonna. Anyways, I won't go into my little pet peeves about society. Just know that it's a pattern and you're expected to follow it. All right. And when I figure out those patterns, I just repel against them. They're repulsive to me. So I know, and maybe that's just a phase that I'm going through for like years, but I do accept that other people follow them, you know, and I do love the people that follow them, and I'm just not going to perpetuate it. Okay. Be the person that you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. I want to eat good food that doesn't have poisons on it. I don't want to slaughter animals. I don't want to be mindlessly listening to music that's like training my brain. I thought about this the other day. Entertainment, entrainment, entertainment, entrainment, zombies, hypnotized. What is the other word for brainwashing? It's like, yeah, hypnotized, I guess. Anyways, we're streaming dumb shit. We're listening to dumb music that doesn't really fill us up. It just keeps us distracted. We're buying material things. We got brands and other things that are pulling us away. So what is important? What is important? So let me bring it all the way back to choice. You have the choice to follow the crowd, do the things that they do, and eat that food that they do, and escape the way that they do, and do all the things that make you feel good so that you're just not really trying, but not really failing. You're just right in that middle void of emptiness. Or you can choose to live well, and you can choose to live conscious with healthy food and exercise and letting go of preferences. We don't have to prefer everything to be exactly how we want it. Letting go of constant comfort, gathering in community, feeling our feelings, making it okay to cry, making it okay to be vulnerable, resisting instant gratification, more of a feeling of building and creating versus consuming. That was the real flip for me. Stop consuming and start creating. That was a big flip. The things that were being sold, the escape, the instant pleasure, the attention grabbing things, the social media, that's the easy route. That's easy. You don't really have to do anything. You just put it on and you're off into oblivion. You got your big food bowl or your pizza and you're scrolling and you got music playing in the background, you got your show on. Like, that is complete escapism. And I'm not saying that you have to reel everything back all at once. I'm not saying you have to do anything, honestly. And if you're watching it this far, bravo to you. This must interest you. I had to reel these things back over time, over years, to where I'm at today. And it was a process, and it wasn't an easy process all the time either. It does become like a video game. Like, how much can I withdraw from society but still be in society? How much can I pull back my behavior and thinking from the entrainment and the doctrine and the brain training that we've been through? Working through some other things as far as like business goes, money, relationships, all the same things actually, just in a different light with a different lens. You get clarity when you start pulling your attention back from all these things and you stop seeking and fulfilling this instant gratification. You get some more clarity, feel like you get some of your power back. And then, yeah, it becomes like a video game where you're just working through life and thinking, what can I do? What am I going to do today? What can I create? How can I be more disciplined? All right, I'm going to finish my tea. I got to get to work, my day job. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.